up, guys? Welcome to another episode of WheelsBoutique. I am your host, David Nussbaum, and today we have one of my favorite cars of all time. You guys already know I'm a Porsche fanatic. This is essentially the creme de la creme, the fastest version of the 991 generation 911. This is, of course, the beast, the GT2 RS, and the reason it's the beast is because it's got rear-wheel drive, not all-wheel drive, and it's got 691 horsepower right out of the blocks. So twin turbo, flat six, 691 horsepower, top speed 211, 0 to 62.7. Nürburgring time was like 6:47. It was the record holder at the time in 2018. 1,000 of these produced, and I say all this, now this car is even faster than that. The reason why is because we went ahead and we did IPE downpipes on this. Essentially the only thing that you can do on this car before you start getting into turbo upgrades, and you wouldn't want to do that on this. I mean, at that point you're just absolutely insane. But with the IPE downpipe that is less restrictive than the factory downpipe, and pairing that with a DME stage 2 tune, this car is putting north of 700 horsepower, probably getting close to the 800 horsepower range, but we're not 100% sure just because we haven't dynoed the car yet. And so what that means is essentially the 0-60 to time, 0 to 100, those are probably reduced. Top speed, probably not, but maybe it's definitely still over the 200 horsepower mark, or excuse me, 200 mile per hour mark. So this thing is an absolute animal. As I mentioned, I call it the beast. It is the holy grail from that 991 platform. And I love so many things about this. You've got carbon fiber galore straight from factory. You've got it right here. You've got it on the hood. You've got the roll cage, it's in yellow. You have houndstooth interior, carbon fiber mirror covers, the little triangle here, the roof, the wing, the airbox, the engine cover, all of these good things. There's not a lot, but there's some plastic pieces that are still on this car from factory that can be changed into a different aftermarket kit, maybe with 9 design, for example. But this car has so much carbon fiber that it's pretty much, you know, what are you gonna do? You're gonna go overboard on that and do even more? I say yes, but this customer says no. But what he did say yes to was, of course, the HRE performance wheels. These are an extremely popular wheel model with 911 customers. This is the 522M. When I look at it, it reminds me a lot of the 996 and even 993 generation OEM factory wheels that were 5-spoke twist, and that's exactly what you have here, so it looks flawless on this car. I had a discussion with another Porsche customer yesterday and a McLaren customer the day before that, and the McLaren customer brought up a good point. He's like, is this wheel gonna look good on my car? Because it's giving me Porsche vibes, and he has both a Porsche and a McLaren. And I said, well, we have done this wheel on a couple of other cars that are not 911s. 3 of them come to mind. One is a Bugatti Chiron. The other one is a Ferrari F12 Berlinetta, I believe it was. And then the third was our Aston Martin DBS Superleggera. I know that Marvin is gonna have photos popping up of those various cars, and you guys can agree with me that that wheel looks phenomenal on those 3 models, and of course it looks phenomenal on the 991 GT2 RS. This car looks perfect with this. We did the 20s in the front and the 21s in the rear. So you have a 20 by 9.5 in the front and a 21 by 12.5 in the rear. On this car you can actually do a 21-22 setup, but again, it is such a high horsepower figure car that you want to be able to use these super sticky Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires. I'm checking to see if they're ours. They're not, but they are the N1 Porsche specs, so that means that they're even wider and even stickier for the Porsche vehicle. So from a looks perspective, I think it looks phenomenal. This might be a GT Silver. Would you agree with me, Marvin? Yeah. It looks a little bit different. We have a pretty overcast day, but on a sunnier day, this silver will pop like you would not believe. And then when you pair it with the frozen brushed gold finish, it looks ridiculously good. This is going to be one of the cars that we are going to take to the DRT show that is this coming weekend. For you Porsche fanatics, you guys already know what DRT is. It is Das Renn Treffen. It is the yearly Porsche show down here in South Florida that hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of Porsche cars show up, and thousands of owners actually show up. They have a lot of different events. They've got a cocktail hour. They've got an art gallery. They have some live exhibits with cars, some roofs, some singers in years past. So a lot of our Porsche guys are going to be showing up here at the facility on the Sunday morning, and we're all gonna kind of gather up and do a caravan to the show. Again, this is gonna be one of the cars here, one of the many cars we'll have here. Once we have all of our customers here and some of our own personal Porsches, we're gonna have the parking lot pretty much full. There'll be maybe close to 50 cars that we'll be caravanning together to the event. So if you're here in South Florida or you're anywhere here in the US and you want to make it to the show, it is going to be a 2-day car show, Saturday and Sunday, but in years past, the Sunday has always been the best day to go, so that's the day that we're going. This car will be here. If you want to see it, definitely go to the show. If you want to meet me, definitely go to the show. I'm gonna be out there. I'm gonna have a ton of cars out there on wheels, some with exhaust systems, some with the carbon fiber aero, like from 9 Design that I mentioned. So a lot of the cars will be out there with all of the modifications, and I would love to talk with you and kind of go over everything that we can do for your car. So without further ado, let me jump in the driver's seat. So that way you guys can hear the sound improvements with the IP downpipe and the DME Stage 2 tune, and let me know what you think. Make sure you leave a comment in the section below, subscribe, like the video, share with your friends and family, and until next time, I'll see you guys.